I'm Tanya Thicke, married to Alan Thicke, and the last time you guys were here was on August 31st when Tyler did a reading for my husband. And as of yesterday, it's been exactly 2 months since his passing.
I have to talk about health, and it's kind of health with family. For the men in your family, it's really good to just take into consideration that blood pressure is going to be something that we really have to keep in mind. Now, heart issues, they happen to men. It's not uncommon, but the thing is that, let me see what that is. I don't even know where to start. When it comes to like a family and a gene perspective, it's possible that within your family, there might be multiple men who end up at a later age dealing with blood pressure issues, but also deal with either a heart murmur or heart arrhythmia. But I feel like I have to kind of go to heart, and this kind of correlates with blood pressure. So just kind of keep that in mind. I have a couple people who've, kind of came through and acknowledged passing in a bit of a similar sense, and it's almost saying like, keep in mind your own heart, because there's a man who was very stubborn who passed away, and he acknowledges dying as a result of this heart problem. His message is, don't be stubborn like I was. And the feeling is like, this is a strong guy, he's great, he's lovely, but he was really frustrated at the fact that he neglected this, because this is something that could have been treatable had we just known about it. I'm not wanting to go, and there's just a feeling of like, don't let you be me, basically, in the way this comes across. It's like, keep this in mind, be proactive in your health, do what I didn't, is kind of the message, so.
No history of heart disease.
Sure.
In the family.
Sure.
With the exception of my sister, had a heart issue, had open heart surgery. Delighted that she's fine now.
Great.
But it can't get much more serious than that.
Sure.
Just not a genetic line that we've known.
Right. Interesting. Okay.
My husband was Superman.
Right.
I didn't think anything was gonna take him down. He and I for sure thought he was gonna be around at least till 85. So to lose him at 69, when we had all these plans for the new year, we were excited about the new year because we were empty nesters and now we were ready to have children together.
Right.
Alan booked the appointment with our doctor, our fertility doctor, the Monday, the day before he died. And we booked it for the second week of January because he wanted me to be pregnant by my birthday, February 20th.
Wow.
After he had just passed away, I found a piece of paper on his desk with notes, and including Charlotte. And he had her name written down, and that was the name we were gonna name her, Charlotte Thicke.
Wow.
And that hit me like a ton of bricks to see her name there. But it also, in some ways, gave me peace to know that my husband wanted to give me a baby. That's the last thing he needed, was to have a baby.
But he wanted to share
had
that.
3, but he wanted to share. He wanted to give me that gift. He was really a selfless person, and I think that's really what I fell in love with.
That's amazing. And I think that to be able to continue that on, to be able to take that selfless nature that he had inherently, and to be able to be selfless yourself and show the world that selflessness through helping others is the best way you could ever honor him. I mean, he had such a beautiful heart, and to be able to show the world that is, in a sense, his life continuing on in a different way, too. So,
Right.
So I brought the reading for us to actually watch today, if you would like.
I would love that.
It'd be awesome. And sometimes validations and things happen, but this is it right here.
Hi, Tyler! I'm so excited.
Oh my God, it's great to meet you.
Nice to meet
How are
you.
you?
Now, notice how excited I am. Come in.
Cable guys here.
I'm Tyler. Great to meet you.
I'm Alan. Hi, Tyler. Nice to see you. I'm Alan Thicke. Generally, I'm recognized as the dad from Growing Pains, or Robin Thicke's father.
I would say, honestly, if this is something that does come into play, it could affect men primarily. I'm not even looking at women so much. This is something that could affect men. So if you yourself notice like blood pressure or heart murmur, just see a doctor. But I feel almost like we have to kind of like really take this into consideration. I was really going on about that.
Yeah, you were.
Thank you, Dr. Henry. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that to heart.
Yes, absolutely.
I just don't understand.
When it's our time to go, you know, it's hard for us to understand.
Because I was always on top of him about his health.
Right.
Always on top of him about it.
Can I get my review from Tanya?
You sure can.
Tanya? Tanya, my dear.
Wow. That was a really fascinating thing to be a part of, just that reading in and of itself.
Isn't that amazing?
I love that. Wow.
Do you feel him with me now?
It's interesting. On the way here, I was definitely already, I was seeing funny, like a sun symbology, like a sunny, I got like a weird reference to sunny, sunny. And it kind of all like came through.
Funny.
So on the way here, that was coming through.
You know, it's when Alan died, the first thing I thought about was I said, I'm never gonna see the sunshine again.
Wow. Wow.
That was the first thing, is like, I will never see the sunshine again.
Understandable. I mean, you have gone through the most incredibly traumatic thing a person could go through.
Right. Where does he go now? Now when he continues, where does his spirit go now?
That's a big question. You know, I found after over 1,000 readings, I still don't quite have an answer as far as where they go. But I have found that they're in a state of existence where they are interconnected with all things. So when we pass away, we're connected to what God is in a very deep sense. And I think that we go through a process of understanding our lives and our soul's journey. And that's something we have to go through on our own. And then we get to the point where we understand our lives in a deeper sense, and we have messages that we want to deliver to our loved ones as a result. And in doing that, Alan will be able to understand himself and his soul's journey as he communicates messages to you. But he has to kind of process what he's going through first in order to get there. It's like they have to go through a whole thing on their end.
So he's processing right now.
His whole life.
His whole life right now.
Absolutely.
And so once he's done processing that, then he'll be able to reconnect with his loved ones.
Exactly. I'm referencing to Florida. This is kind of strange, but keep it in mind in the event that you have an opportunity to go on a trip to Florida. There's a weird reference of like Florida trip, Florida trip, Florida trip.
Oh, that's amazing.
And like, there's a feeling of being undecided with this trip. We're kind of wondering, do we do it? Do we stay here? Do we go? Do we stay? And then around that time frame, it's basically like a significant date around this.
Actually, there was supposed to be a trip for my birthday. My birthday's next Monday, February 20th.
I see.
And I was supposed to go to Florida, and I canceled it.
It's the back and forth, I see. That makes sense.
I canceled the trip because I didn't feel celebratory. I don't feel like celebrating.
Right.
So this trip, actually, it was Alan who planned it with my friends.
Makes sense.
But now they're waiting for me. They're like, when you're ready, we'll do it.
Right.
So maybe, I said to them, maybe on my anniversary. I said, because it's gonna be so hard to have this anniversary without Alan. So maybe we could do it for an anniversary.
It's interesting because with it, I was with reference to Florida and then significant date around this. So that would be like an anniversary would be significant. And the feeling with this was kind of like going back and forth.
And should I go?
Do it. It's like, do it, do it, do it.
Do it.
Because that will probably be one of the primary catalysts that kind of initiates you feeling more. And that's the goal. And that's how healing happens. That's how, you know, you'll feel that connection with him, so.
Okay. Then I better get my bikini body ready.
You know it. Fly to Florida.
Well, thank you for making me laugh, Tyler.
Oh, good.
I haven't laughed in a long time.
That's what it's all about. That's what he would want.